I want to talk about the importance of having goals. And I want to talk about how having goals actually helps us to helps us to connect or lean into and better utilize our superpowers. And yes, I'm that just thought just came back to me. I want to share this with you all on this lovely morning. So think about this. Think about this. A couple of things. So when you when you have a goal, or when you goals provide positive motivation. That's one of the things that goals provide. So if you lack motivation, someone on here is just, I just don't feel motivated. If you lack motivation, I challenge you to take a look at whether or not you're in pursuit of anything, whether or not you have a worthy goal in your life. Keyword worthy. If you have a worthy goal in your life, you're not going to lack for motivation. So if you're lacking motivation, it's time to look at that list of goals that you have. And if you don't have one, therein lies your answer. So goals provide positive motivation. So that's one thing. That's one of the reasons why we must have goals in our lives. We must be in pursuit of something. The way we're designed as human beings, we are designed to go after things. We need targets in our lives. So one of the things is, oh, perfect family, perfect. You know, one God, one voice. And so first, and this is in no particular order, it's in the order that works best for you. Goals provide positive motivation. So you need to have a worthy goal in your life. That way you're going to stay motivated. You're not going to lack for motivation when you're in pursuit of something, when you have targets in your life. Now, here's something else. Here's some matter of fact, let me jot this down because I'm having so many thoughts in my head at the same time and I don't want to miss anything. Like as I'm speaking, more stuff is coming in my head and I don't want to miss it because this is important. Um, so goals provide positive motivation. That's one, right? Now, what else? So goals determine what we experience and what we see in the world. What are you talking about? The world is revealed to us based on what's important to us. Okay. Let me, okay. The targets that you have in your life determine how and what is revealed to you in the world. There's too many inputs, there's too much happening at any given second for us to process. We would literally lose our minds. There's too many inputs happening. There's just too much for us to process. As awesome as we are, as big and as dynamic as these big brains are that we have, we couldn't possibly process all of the inputs that are happening at one time. Some of us try, but it's not healthy. But what happens is when you have a target, when you have a goal, now things are revealed to you because these things are now important based on your target. So just think just think about it, right? Just think about when you are if you're going somewhere, if you say I want to go to Florida, right? Something simple like that. Magically, you're going to start seeing things, hearing things, noticing things in and around your world that have something to do with you getting to Florida. It just happens like that, right? If you buy a what is this mint? If you buy a mint T-shirt, now you're gonna magically see mint T-shirts. If you go buy a what kind of cars my neighbor have? If you go buy a burgundy Nissan Altima, guess what you're going to happen? Oh, absolutely, Sheila. Hang with me. Yes, and we're explaining why. If you get a burgundy Nissan Altima like my neighbor, before she got that, she probably never really noticed burgundy Nissan Altimas. Now, everywhere she goes, there's another one, there's another one, there's another one, there's another one. Because now burgundy Nissan Altimas are important to her. See, it wasn't important to her before, so she didn't notice. So number one, goals provide positive motivation. So if you lack motivation, you need a worthy goal, something that you're in pursuit of, and that will help you to always stay motivated. People that have goals, people that are chasing after a thing, people that have targets, people that have identified the mountain that they want to climb, they don't lack motivation. They're getting after it. Keith, what's up, family? They're getting after it because they're constantly in pursuit of something. I like to look at it as climbing mountains. You're constantly climbing. You get to the top of your mountain, you exhale, you celebrate for a second, you turn to the left, and bam, you're at the foot of your next mountain. And that's the beauty of life. And so, yes, exactly. And so that's the first thing. The second thing is having goals, the targets that you have in your life. That's how the world reveals itself to you based upon those things. So, the things that I'm into, they reveal themselves to me. My social media experience, the things that I notice, the things that I see. Why? It's because of what my goals are. So if you don't have any goals, if you're not clear, if you're just out here kind of just hoping and wishing and waiting and wondering, or if your goals aren't sexy. Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. Because I said worthy, right? You need a worthy goal. If your goals aren't sexy, if your goals aren't demanding more of you, if you have goals that are just, that don't require much, that's not going to motivate you. You need goals that this version of you can't quite accomplish. You need goals that force you to stretch, grow, and become a higher expression of yourself. So you need worthy goals. Don't just be talking about I'm going to sip my coffee, even though that's a beautiful thing. All right, I'm done with that. It's water time. So you need goals that are sexy. You need goals that are worthy. You need goals that put a demand on you. You need goals that make you say, you know what? Who do I have to become in order for that to be true and real in my life? If I want to hold that in my hand, right? If I want to hold that in my hand, I want to possess that. I want to live there. I want to drive that. I want to shop there. I want to wear that. I want this type of relationship. I want to look like this. I want to feel like this. What has to be true in my life? Then you start setting goals, to accomplish. You start setting the goals that you need to set to get you from where you are to where you want to be. So the first thing, goals provide positive motivation. The second thing is goals, the targets in your life, the goals in your life. That's how the world reveals itself to you, through those goals, through what's important to you. Just think about it. Parents, before you became a parent, certain things you just never even noticed. Then when you became a parent, magically, all the baby stuff was always everywhere. That stuff was invisible before. You were in that same store, didn't even notice the baby section, right? Found out you were with child or your partner was with child, and bam, magically, wow, was this always here? Yeah. Was the Babies R Us always here? Yes. The Babies R Us was in the same plaza of your favorite Marshalls that you go to every week. You didn't even notice Babies R Us. But then when you were with child, now magically the Babies R Us appeared. The Babies R Us been there. What changed was you changed. What became important to you changed. Your goals changed. So that's how the world reveals itself. So if you want, so again, having goals again is going to open up things for you. Goals give your brain permission who to let in. Think about it. So, there's so much trying to get in, and you got these bouncers at the door. Nope, nope, nope. That stuff isn't, oh, this is important. Yeah, come on in. All right. So then think about it like this. So that's another thing. So what else? Goals, again, give us access to our superpowers. What are you talking about? Superpowers. Goals give us access to our superpowers. What are you talking about, Reese? So, turn on the fan. So, goals, okay, appreciate that, I suppose. So, there we go. I love that. I love that you identified that, Brooke. Exactly. When you started, if you were just careless with your money, but then when you said, you know what, I wanna have 6 months of my earnings saved up. Now you start paying attention. You start monitoring your spending. Right now it becomes important to you. Whereas before it was just like, no, I get a nice check every couple weeks, so blah 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 blah, or whatever the case may be, right? But as soon as you set a target, now all of a sudden, so so let's talk about these superpowers, right? I have this philosophy that we were born with some incredible superpowers. There are things that just inherently come with us that are incredible, that can be life changing. And there are four of them that I talk about all the time, that I believe that if you understand how to master these superpowers, how to use them every day, but unfortunately, most of us use them against us. We abuse them, we misuse them. So, one of them, the first one, is the power of focus. The power of focus. What's that? The power of focus. What's important to me? What I'm going to pay attention to, right? What I'm, that's the power of focus. So having goals, good morning, family, good morning, good morning. Having goals helps us to access the power of focus. Maurice, what's up, family? So you have that superpower. You have the power of focus. It's in there and you use it every day. But unfortunately, you're often using it for what? For rubbish, for nonsense. You're focused on what? But then when you have a goal, now you're focused on closing the gap between where you are and where you want to be. And now, again, goals give us positive motivation. So you're feeling good, you're motivated, you're excited about becoming the person you need to become in order to accomplish the thing you want to accomplish. And then magically, now that you have this particular goal, different things are starting to reveal themselves to you. Different people, places, and things, opportunities, all this stuff is happening because you set a goal. And so now it's like, oh wow. And now instead of you just kind of being up, now you got blinders on. And now you're using the power of focus to pay attention to what do I need to do to close the gap to get me again from where I am to where I want to be. Instead of focusing on nonsense, now I'm focused on right closing the gap again between where I am and where I want to be. Hey, what's up, family? And then as I'm doing that, see, now they say what you focus on is what you feel. They say when you feed something, that's what's going to grow. And so now that you have these goals and you're motivated, and now these things are beginning to be revealed to you, and you're locked in and you're focused on accomplishing these goals, your life begins to transform. And then think about this. Now, the next superpower is the power of decisions. Oh, I don't know if y'all ready. I don't know if y'all ready. Come on, come on, come on. So now I'm motivated. Now the world starts revealing things to me, things that I need to get me from where I am to where I want to be. And I'm locked in and I'm focused and I'm starting to feel it. Now my identity is starting to shift. And I'm becoming a better decision maker. Before I was just, whatever. Now I'm locked in. Now I'm focused. Now because I have a particular goal, now my thought process, my decision making process is changing. Why? Because I'm running it through the filter of, does this help me close the gap between where I am and where I want to be? Does this help me to become the person that I need to become to accomplish the thing that I've set out to accomplish? Oh, now I'm using my superpowers. Now I'm using my focus. And now I'm using the power of decision. And now I'm unstoppable. Now I'm locked in. And now the chatter and think about this. When you have goals, it's easier to eliminate the distractions because you know what you need and what you don't need. having goals, look at it like this. If you're going somewhere, right? If I tell you I live in Florida, if I say, hey, come down and hang out, well, you're not packing you're not packing warm weather clothes, you're not packing sweaters and your goose down jacket, and you're packing for Florida. You're packing to, right? But if I say, hey, let's go, I don't know why anyone would do this, but let's go down to the Arctic Circle and I don't know, do some, well, now we have to pack for where we're going. So having goals equips me, gives me what I need to know how to pack. And packing isn't just the attire we wear. Now I know who I need with me. I know who I need and what I need. Good afternoon, family. Thanks for tapping in. So think about it. When you have a goal, now you're more, a lot of you guys talk about time management, and I just got to figure out time management. If you have issues with time management, your goals aren't sexy enough. Let that one simmer for a second. If you're having issues with managing your time, your goals aren't sexy enough. Prove me wrong. If you have a goal, if you have something that you're in pursuit of, something that is requiring you to grow and stretch and become a higher expression of yourself, something that's causing you to actually have to change your identity, something that's causing you to become a better, you're not time, man. That becomes a non-issue. The stronger, the more worthy, the sexier your goals, the less you ever have to even think about managing your time. You know why? Because now you know what's important to you because you have these goals. You know where you're going and you know what it is you want. And that means when you know what you want, you know what you don't want. When you're clear on what you need, you know what you don't need. And you also pick up the pace. So if you've been dragging through life, if you've been moving at this slow pace and it's just like, I'm sick of myself moving this slow, your goals aren't sexy enough. Because when you really want a thing, when you're in pursuit of a thing, thank you, family, when you're getting after it, when something is calling you to it, you ain't got time to be dragging your feet. It's like, no, I got somewhere to be. And then you don't have time for nonsense. You don't have time for negativity. Hey, Renata, good morning, family. You don't have time for nonsense. You don't have time for negativity. You don't have time to be in the group chat with the nonsense. You don't have time to hang out and do things that aren't helping you close the gap between where you are and where you want to be. So, my good friend Sheila said, do you think it's important? Yes, always. Always, 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 always. We always need to be in pursuit of something. Always need to be in pursuit of something. And it needs to be sexy. It needs to be worthy. It needs to be something, again, that is demanding more of you. It needs to be something that you can't just turn and do right now. I always use this one. My goal for today should not be to sip some water. That required next to nothing. That can't be my goal. Now, if my goal is to drink 10 of these today, whoa, I need to lock in. I need to focus. I need to make sure. So the goal, again, needs to be worthy. It needs to be something that puts a demand on you, something that causes you to think different, to speak different, and to act different, something that totally changes your identity. Changes my identity? Yes. The goal again needs to put a demand on you to become a higher expression of yourself. So again, goals provide positive motivation. I just gave 1,000 reasons like that about what that looks like. Goals are what give your brain permission what to let in. Basically, the world reveals itself to us based on our goals and our targets, based on what's important to us. And then goals help us to use our superpowers for us and not against us. So now, when I have a goal, I'm focused on said goal. And what does that mean? That means I'm not focused on nonsense. I'm not focused on things that are keeping me from moving in the direction that I need to be moving in. I'm not listening to things. I'm not watching things. I'm not hanging out with people. I'm not going places. I'm not doing the. I got somewhere to be. I got something to do. And because my goals require so much more of me, I don't have time for the negative energy. I don't have time for the nonsense. Love you like I do. I gotta love you like I do, mommy. I'll call you tomorrow. Love you like I do, sister. Love you like I do, brother. Homies, I love y'all, but I got things to do. Y'all, if y'all understood what I was in pursuit of, if you really understood, then you would. Great question. She said, what are the superpowers? Focus, decisions. We talked about those two, and then it's two more. So, the power of focus, the power of decisions. See, every moment of our lives, every second, where it's what to focus on, what does it mean, and how do I feel? What to focus on, what to feel, how does it what to focus on? Yeah, I'm getting hyped. What to focus on? What does this mean, and how do I feel? What to focus on? Like, so every minute. So now, when we master the power of focus, look, I'm not worried about what Johnny's doing. I'm not worried about the latest trending thing. I'm not worried. That stuff it's a non-issue to me because I'm focused. I'm focused on accomplishing the goals that I set out to accomplish every day. I'm focused on becoming a higher expression of myself. I'm focused on becoming better today than I was yesterday. I'm focused on climbing this particular mountain here. And this mountain is dangerous. This terrain is rough. I'm encountering people, places, and things. There are monsters trying to eat me as I'm climbing this mountain. I don't have time to hear the nonsense so I'm focused. And then the next superpower is the power of decisions. I have to make decisions that are moving me. I have to run all my decisions through the filter of, does this move me from where I am to where I want to be? Does this help me accomplish the things that I want to accomplish? Does this help me become this next level, this higher expression of myself? When I envision myself at the top of this mountain, holding the trophy or planting my flag and celebrating, who do I need to become? Does this help me? Does this conversation move me? Does this conversation help me close the gap? Does this group chat help me close the gap? Does following all these pages help me close the gap? Does listening to this stuff help me close the gap? Does hanging out with this particular group help me close the gap? So now my decision making, I become a better decision maker. Why? Because of my goals, because of where I'm going. And it becomes easier. How does it become easier? It becomes easier because when I know where I'm going, now there's all these choices, right? So let's just simplify. It's multiple choices. A, B, C, and D. It's all these options available. Now, once I set a goal, C and D are irrelevant because I set a goal already. So, you see what I'm saying? So now you're feeling overwhelmed because I don't know what to do. Well, once you set a goal, now the vast majority of those things you were tripping about, they can be removed. And now, okay, I just need to look at these particular options, and then I don't need to get stuck there. I need to just pick one and go. Does this help me close the gap? Yes, but this does too. Okay, pick one and go. You may end up doing both, or if you wanna get fancy, okay, if I do this, which one of these actually encompasses both? And we can get deeper into decision making another time, but the superpower is the power of decisions. Just think about how different your life would be if you were a better decision maker. And a lot of us struggle with making decisions because we don't know who we are or what we want. We don't know where we're going. If you just go get in a car right now and go out to the highway and just, where am I going? I don't know. I just wanted to drive. Okay, cool. Like, I'm just riding. I don't know. But the moment you say, okay, I'm going here, boom, man, it's magically gets clear. Now it's like, oh, okay, boom, I don't really know the way. So let me, boom, 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 let me do this. Let me get the directions. Let me figure this out. Well, I know it's north, so let me go north. I know it's near so and so, so let me head towards so and so, and then maybe it'll. See, the in war they call it simplifying the battlefield. They call it simplifying the battlefield. And so she said, not at these gas prices. They call it simplifying the battlefield. What does that mean? I don't need to evaluate 99 things. No. Okay, where am I going? Okay, what do I want? Who am I? Who am I becoming? Right? There's a few things I can run this through. And then I make decisions accordingly to move me again from where I am to where I want to be. And then the next superpower, right, that having a goal helps us with is communication. So we got focus, decisions, and communication. Y'all heard the list? Decisions, focus, decisions, and communication. So what do you mean by communication? When I know who I am, I can begin to embody becoming that person. I can start to think different. So communication, first and foremost, is how I communicate with me. So isn't that a superpower? My self-talk, my inner conversation, my relationship with me, how I speak to me, how I experience me. And that improves when I have targets, when I have goals, when I'm clear on my identity. And so now I know where I'm going. So my self-talk starts to change. So if I want to become a better communicator, the first thing I need to do is start communicating better with me. I need to start thinking better thoughts. I need to start challenging those goofy thoughts. And the thoughts that show up that don't align with the person I am, and more importantly, the person that I'm becoming, I can discard that and replace that with a thought that is in alignment. So think you get what I'm saying? So that inner conversation, that communication has to change. And the way it can change, the way we can seize responsibility for that, the way we can take ownership for that is how? By having a goal, by having a clear target in front of me. I know where I'm going. So when I start thinking these goofy thoughts, when I start thinking about I'm not worthy, I'm not capable, I'm not enough, no. Or when I start thinking about I wonder what's the name of them is doing and what is it, whatever those goofy thoughts that try to come in and those goofy intrusive thoughts, y'all know what I'm talking about. Now you have something to challenge them with. You have something to challenge them with. Wow, because I have targets, I have a goal, I know where I'm going. And I know this goal is so sexy that's requiring more of me. It's requiring me to grow and stretch and become. So I don't have time for that stuff. I don't have time for that. So I'm replacing those goofy thoughts with something more empowering. And I'm speaking to myself like someone I'm responsible to care for. I'm speaking to myself like someone that I love. I'm speaking to myself like someone that I care about. I'm speaking to myself like someone whose outcomes, whose life I'm responsible for. I'm not just talking to me any kind of way. Let me say that again. I'm not just talking to me any kind of way. So that communication has to change. And then of course, once that starts to change and I start to think better thoughts, then I can start what I say out loud, what I declare, what I say to the world, what I put out into the atmosphere, that will begin to change. So now I'm thinking better thoughts and then I'm speaking better words. And what does that lead to? Me taking better, more empowering actions. Again, helping me close the gap. And again, when I'm clear on my goal, again, I'm speaking, my communication with me changes. So my inner self-talk, my self-talk, what I actually declare, what I actually say, how I move, my body language, the way that I dress, the way that I carry myself, the way that I conduct myself, that changes. Y'all started acting a little different when you became a mom. Think about who you were before you became a mom. You somebody's mom, so that that puts up some barriers. That helps you set some boundaries. You know, those of you that are, think about it. You're in a relationship now. You're in a committed relationship. That means you have to conduct yourself differently. You have to you have to think different. You have to speak different. You have to move different. You have to present yourself differently. All of that is communication. Yeah, the way that I dress, that's communication. The way that I walk, the way that all of that is communication. I communicate before I ever open my mouth and start speaking. I'm communicating. I'm sending messages. If I go run to the Publix, right, and I pull up and I jump out, my walk from the car into the market and around the market, if I don't say anything to anybody, am I not communicating? Of course I am. I'm sending messages by the way that I conduct myself. I go, I go, I, get my haircut every week. That's communicating something to me and to the rest of the world. I, I take good care of myself. That's communicating something. When I'm walking through, right, I'm sending messages. When I walk through, I'm not going to strut for y'all, but it's clear that I care about me. It's crystal clear that there's nothing about me that says he doesn't care about himself. There's nothing about him that says he doesn't respect himself. Before I even open my mouth and the fact that I can string together a sentence or two, I'm talking about before that. My energy, just the way that I conduct myself. You can look at me and see like, okay, yeah, he takes care of himself. He cares about himself. I'm communicating something. And how do we get there? Because of who I decided that I want to be, because of where I want to go, because of how I want to live my life, because of the identity that I want for myself, because the person that I'm becoming, the goals that I want, the thing that I'm in pursuit of is so big, pardon me, that in all my awesomeness, I can't get there. This version of me can't occupy that space. So I have to continue to. So we got Sis asked about the superpowers I wanted to discuss: focus, decisions, communication. And the fourth one is imagination. Imagination. Think about this, family. Think about how much you beat yourself up, how much you abuse yourself, how much you misuse your imagination every day. How much you imagine doom and gloom, how much you imagine things going wrong, how much you imagine things not working out, how much you what if this happens and what if that happens and oh God, what if this happens and if this ever happens and what if this. That's you beating yourself up. That's you misusing your superpower, which is your imagination. Because the same energy you put into imagining everything going wrong, what's that poem? But what if you fly? Right? And what if and if it rains, and if it snows, and if Sally doesn't show up, and if Johnny doesn't show up, and if Sally does show up, and if Sally does show up, and what if this, and what if what? But again, exactly. What if this, and then if this, and if I do this, and what's the Stoic quote? Uh, we suffer far more in our imagination than we do in reality. That literally is one of the biggest human flaws. And if we can own that and get in front of that, and if we can understand that it's all in our head. We talked about this yesterday. It's all in our head. What do you mean? What's going to happen tomorrow? It's all in our head. Whether something is good or bad is all in your head. What something means, it's all in your head. Someone says something, the meaning of what they said, it's all in your head. Who gets voted into office and what that's going to mean to you, it's all in your head because it is, my rule is it is whatever I say it is. So I'm going to choose an empowering meaning. I'm going to choose an empowering viewpoint to take in every situation. And no, I'm not. I'm not naive, nor am I delusional. But if I get to choose, If I get to choose, why not choose empowerment? Why not choose a view, right? If I get to choose, my other rule, I'm 100% responsible for my perspective. So if I get to choose how I'm going to look at this particular thing, if it's all in my head anyway, if I think I'm going to lose, it's because I think I'm going to lose. So why can't I just think I'm going to win? Reese, you always oversimplifying something. Am I though? It's all in my head anyway. Some people don't set goals because they won't give themselves permission to see themselves on the other end, see themselves hoisting up the trophy, see themselves getting the medal placed around their neck, see themselves at the top of their mountain. I remember I went through a season where I couldn't even say out loud what I wanted. My self-esteem was that tanked. It was that bad. Now I have absolutely no problem declaring what it is that I want. Because why? Because I know, I believe that I can accomplish it. I believe that I can make it happen. But I'm willing to do the work necessary. I'm willing to become the type of person who can accomplish that. Notice that. See, I didn't say I am already, but I'm willing to become I'm willing to put in the work, put in the effort. I'm willing to make the necessary changes. I'm willing to go where I need to go. I'm willing to learn what I need to learn. I'm willing to invest the time, energy, effort, and money so that I can make that happen for me. So that's gone. But when you understand that it's all in your head anyway, why not imagine yourself as the winner? Why are you writing you're writing your story and you're writing you hold on. I just want to understand something. You are the author. You're writing your story, and what you choose to do is write yourself in as some random extra person number 38 up there in the stands. Or you're writing yourself in as a loser. You're writing yourself in as a victim. You're writing yourself in as a. Why not? Right? Hey, B, thanks for tapping in. You're writing. Why not write yourself in as the hero? Why not envision yourself hitting the last shot at the buzzer? Why not envision yourself slaying the dragon? Because it's all in here anyway. So, focus, decisions, communication, and imagination. These are our superpowers, and a surefire way that we can access and be intentional about and take control of them is through setting goals, setting demanding, worthy, as I've been saying today, sexy goals that put a demand on you. So, is it important to have goals? What? Absolutely. All right, who has